People blame others for the reason why they don't feel it. They don't get it. If you wear it yourself,
oh, it's just them.
It's undeniable.
Yeah,
that's such a good point. That's such a good point. Because everyone blames everyone else and everyone thinks it's not. It's like you have to be it in order to deliver it. So and then you trigger it in someone and then they give that back out. Yeah,
we're feeling good today because you guys won't know this, but we took a little week off, which is weird for us because we meet 3 times a week, so we have like separation.
So yeah, we're actually going to talk about emotional availability today. How emotionally available you are to yourself, to your friends, to life, to each experience that you have.
Relationships. We're just gonna, get into it, let it flow.
And I'm gonna use Ayesha as an example. So you guys are gonna see everything through it, in it, out of it. And it's cool what you identify with, take notes of it. And if you can grow and learn from it or you have more questions, just and I'll get back to you and all back up on you. When I say emotional availability to you, how emotionally available do you think you are, one, to yourself?
Oh yeah. I feel like I actually had this talk with a friend yesterday about how we're all a work in progress and like have our own things we're dealing with. But I feel like in myself, like in different areas of my life, I feel like I'm excelling in some areas of myself. Like would
you say you're 100% emotionally available to yourself? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what does that mean? Like, what would be an example of being emotionally available?
Okay, so emotionally available means that you're able to access a person or an experience and be completely egoless of that moment or of that person. So whether it be a dog or whether it be the weather or something really, your work that you're connecting with, how emotionally invested you are into your work, as opposed to mentally invested or physically invested. So a lot of the time when there's an emotional investment, it comes from a place of like care, right? Like you genuinely care about it, whether it be your passion or love or just what you pay attention to. It could even be a video game you're emotionally invested to. You lose the video game and you start like whiling out, right? You're emotionally invested to it. So being emotionally available or invested to yourself means that you're in tune. You're in tune with
what you need.
You're in tune with what you need. You're in tune with what you are. So you're in tune, like, so why I ask you that is like it's basically a level of depth as well. It's like how deep you are with your understanding of things, how deep you are with your delivery of things, or do you just keep it all on the surface level and just smile it all off, and even if something comes in, you're just going to bounce something back out at it that's it's not really going in and you're going to cry in that moment, or you're going to react or be your emotional self in that moment. Because emotions can work for you negatively if they're not in control, but they can also work for you negatively if you don't allow them to be. Alright, so like that is more, and being in tune with it is knowing how emotional you are to a particular situation. So like, alright, let's take it to a real level. So like, what brings you something that makes you feel emotionally discomfortable and emotionally alive? So what makes you feel emotional? We'll go with the positive. What makes you feel emotionally alive?
Like having complete freedom to create my own schedule and have my own, like the time is mine, and not having attachments to like, oh yeah, I made that plan, like I have to go there.
So what in a particular moment, like drinking water, does that make you feel emotional? Like what makes you feel like emotional, like you're completely there, immersed in the moment?
Oh, drinking one of those iced almond milk lattes in the sun on Abbott Kenny. Feeling good.
Alright, so what's empathy to you?
Like to myself?
Yeah, what does it mean? What do you feel?
Self-care?
Empathy is the understanding of another person's emotions. All right? So one way of like being emotionally available is being empathetic with others. So for an example, like it doesn't even mean person, it could be a dog, it could be anything. Like if you see a dog across the road and the owner's like doing it or something, and you just can't stand that owner that's hurting its own dog. So much to the point that you have to go over and say something, right? You're you're available. You're not checked out, okay? Emotionally unavailable is that's going on. You're not even there. You're in your own head, right? So it means that you feel the world. It means that you feel, and how much to how little you are can depend on your feeling in that present moment, all right? So if you're feeling angry or you're feeling low, maybe you're less inclined to go over to the owners that's hurting the dog and say something, where if you feel like free and clear and confident, then maybe you're more to go over there and doing it. So how do we become more free and clear and confident beings so that we are more emotional and we can display empathy and we can also then connect? Because the reason I'm getting to this is you'll be able to connect with people on a whole deeper level other than just like boom the surface, like all the way down. If you understand what emotional intelligence is, all right, it's
everyone seeks that. I'm just saying, like from the I do a lot of investing in different entrepreneurial courses and masterminds and events, and everyone tries to
so like if you understand that there's something that you're not yet, but you understand that you seek it and that others seek it, and it's a skill to have it, right? So you have to look at yourself in the voids and where you don't have it, right? And be able to see where do I not have this? Like, where is my depth lacking? Where is my emotional lacking? Like, and it doesn't mean remembering that person's name. It doesn't mean that you're paying so hard attention when you're meeting someone that you remember their name. It means that you have a resonating connection with them. And usually that comes from a level of such sincerity that it can't just be from the mind when you're interacting. You're interacting from your heart, okay? And you capture that person, you capture their heart with your heart, and your souls hang out, and your souls have the conversation, and your souls have the experience. That's an emotional connection.
I find that it's funny you bring that up. When I was on the weekend with Kat and Pierre, we had this talk. We were like, it was so awesome because I was with two of my really good friends, and all of us are very into like your coaching, like different things that we invest into people who preach what you preach and teach these lessons. So all of us like disregarded our phones for the night. Like no one said it, but no one had their phone out. We were all like, we're really present with each other, and we were like, guys, this is so cool because no one does this. Like no one is present with another.
Yeah, but you were doing it as well because you were having fun. So it was like, it wasn't a deliberate thing like, let's put it down, right? And like, so it's like naturally, if we could all be immersed in moments that you would forget to pick up your phone, all right? And that you're having so much fun in your immediate moment.
And your conversation, you soak it in more because you're just in it.
Yeah, you're in it. You're not even thinking about your phone.
Yeah.
Right, you're having conversations and you're thinking about your phone and grabbing your phone and da-da-da-da-da. You're not emotionally invested there. You're absolutely not. You've got other stuff going on. So being more emotionally available, right, and knowing how to draw upon that is when you meet someone for a first time, and this comes from like if you're trying to find a relationship, a friendship, a work colleague. They could just be some mundane robot that rolls around the same way you do, or they could be your best friend. Like make your colleague your best friend, right? Like have fun, have jokes, connect with him or her. Like get right up in there, get out, like hang tight together, like feel it on an emotional level because it's way more fun. If there's no emotions, you may as well be a robot. Like legit, a robot programmed, I say this now, I do this now, I move like this now. You have your thoughts, but your thoughts never are anything anywhere near your reality. They're just all hanging out here.
How does someone adopt that when they're so far removed from even what that is? So say someone's watching this, they just heard what emotional intelligence was for the first time, and they've never heard any of these, like this dialogue that you're speaking, because there's people I know watching this who they don't really understand. How would you tell them to now become aware of that and employ that, because that's what people want. The outcome you just said, people want that outcome, but I don't know how the hell. I have an idea and we're all working towards it, but like,
what's
how
your
does
idea?
someone else?
What's your idea?
Well, I think like from a millennial perspective, it starts from disconnecting like those other distractions from where this interaction. Yeah. Like dropping the phone, you're like, it's not there yet, but it is the first step, I think. Yeah. Like dropping that thing. Yeah. Dropping the Karen's voice. Da, 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 da. Yeah, all the extra. Yeah, that would be like my first thing, but it's not just that. Like you just said it, it's not just that. Yeah, that's just the being aware that that's a part of the congestion. So how would you break it down? So, it's definitely a process, but it's actually like very simply easy. You were the most emotionally available when you were a child. I knew you were going to say that. Because it's true. But when you become an adult, you become less emotionally available. Like you have to work and you have to follow rules. And then you have all these imprints of growing up and just everything. Right. So like when you're vulnerable, it comes back down to being vulnerability and the power of vulnerability. And being able to just, you know, be water and be fluid, and not have an agenda speaking to someone, and just practicing yourself from no opinion and no judgment, and kind of just like you want to get to know that person. You want to get to know and listen to what they're saying, not from like curiosity. Curiosity, yeah. Curiosity. I read this in my book this morning, and I don't know if it resonates or not right now, but I'll say it anyway. I feel like people go into conversations and everything like they know everything, and then they disregard what they have to say. Absolutely. Especially like in our society, like if I look at like not me, but like people judge. Do you know why? Away. Do you know why? Because people validate their own self-worth through being right and through knowing. If you get set up that way to be that way, it's impossible to achieve the truth, because you're just looking to be right and affirmating things that make your mindset right. And you'll get that if that's what you want. But the truth isn't about you being right. You're going to get way further truth and way more richness if you can see where you can be wrong. Constantly looking where you're wrong and enjoying the wrong, because that's your opportunity to grow and have a right version of yourself. So it's like when you listen to something, you're listening to it from a place of not knowing, and just let it, the truth always resonates, period. So if it's greater truth than yours, it'll overtake yours. But if you're like fixated on your truth, I was just gonna say, people are so right, and you feel like hurt. Like, okay, so like this, I gave this to a client the other day, this analogy, like, a lot of the time I'd get hurt, right? If I drop some truth on someone, it's like someone, you're Catholic or you're a priest, and you find out that the priest that you worship, all right, is a child molester or something bad, and they come and prove it to you. They prove to you, the person that's proving it to you, that what your priest has done, who you follow and worship, and the truth of maybe even your religion, of this and that. You actually don't hate the priest at that moment. You hate the person that's dropping you the information, because it hurts. And that hurt comes from the deliverer. Even they say, don't shoot the messenger. Why? Where does that comes from? You get angry at where it came from, because it's disturbing your peace. And your peace is knowing that this guy is everything that you envision when he's not, right? And it's many, 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 many different ways. So it's like your boyfriend's cheating on you, and your friend comes and tell you, yo, he's cheating on you. And you find out it's true, and she's showing you the photos. There's a chance that the friend is the one that's going to fit, because you're going to cry about it. You're going to blame that on the friend. There's a chance of that. So it's, and that's a big, huge difference between a fool and a wise person. A wise person will always appreciate the truth, and a fool will always maybe feel hurt or want to hurt you because of it. So that's a very, and recognizing where that comes from. It's from, again, your worth, like letting yourself be wrong, letting everything that potentially be wrong, letting this blue jumper
or sweater that sits on me, someone telling me that it's purple and me considering that it's purple. Like, why not? Why not? You know, I don't need to prove to you it's purple. It can be, like, I just think that's the most, I don't know, the richest way to get to being emotionally available, because it's taking away your opinions and your judgments of everything that you know.
How does one do that?
What I just
Who's
said.
so far removed, though? Like, what would you tell someone who has, like, a stick up their ass and is, like, so set in their ways? And, like, you could tell me, just be more curious, and I'd be like, okay, you're right. But, like, what about someone who's just, like, so against that?
So against what?
Being open and the truth.
I think a lot of people would think that they're open. I guarantee if we grabbed 10 people in the street and we asked them if they're open, they would all say yes. So would you. You would say you were yes.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone says they're yes, but there's degrees of openness, and emotionally open is another level. You can be open as in you say hi back to a stranger, whatever. That's not emotionally open. You can be open as in you could drive a stranger down the road, or you could, you know, open your heart out and pay attention to lots of different things in the world. That you might consider yourself open. Emotionally available and being open emotionally, that's another level. You're talking about like empathy and connection, and that takes you to look at yourself and be, how open am I? Like, how open am I? How much do I connect? How many people are actually remembering me in the morning? How many people are actually like, you know, felt me? They felt me. You know, and who do I feel? How many people do I feel? Like, when I experience life with them.
Because that sounds beautiful, and to really, like, what you described, to be there and feel that encounter with another, that sounds like something everyone wants.
It makes it, I tell you, when you know when you're doing it,
yeah,
you never want to move forward. So when you know when you're doing it, you could just stay in that moment
and
forever.
You lose track of time.
Yeah,
would you say?
You lose track of time. Yeah, you lose track of time. You're just in it. You know.
Can you break down 5-point step on how to be in it? Or another question before we go into that: what if someone's like, "Oh no, it's just the person I'm talking to. They're like a wall," or like, could it be like the person you're with is maybe you can't? Are you saying you can achieve that in it, that focus, that feeling with everyone?
Everyone.
Okay, so there, now
everyone. That's a great question.
Yeah, because some people will be like...
people blame others for the reason why they don't feel it. They don't get it. If you wear it yourself,
oh, it's just them.
It's undeniable.
Yeah,
that's such a good point. That's such a good point. Because everyone blames everyone else, and everyone thinks everyone's... It's not. It's like, you have to be it in order to deliver it, so and then you trigger it in someone, and then they give that back out.
No, but even if someone was like, that, and you're giving it, and you're trying to be there and feel it, they're not giving it. You know, some people have...
Wait, say that again.
You know how some people you meet are just like they woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or they're just snobby. Like, are you saying you can feel it?
I love those people. They're the best challengers. I love the ones that are like...
Explain how you could, like, be in it and
like
lose
Kim
track of time.
Like a Kim Jong-il.
How could you lose track of time talking to, like, someone like that who's so unresponsive, so not in it,
because
so set in their way?
If you are it, you cut through all that shit. Because if you are it, you, like, your vibration is so powerful that it penetrates through their kind of concretized state.
How do you achieve that vibration?
That's a loaded question.
It's like going in with the intent, right? So how do you load up that intent and go in with that power?
I don't necessarily have the intent, but if I make a decision that, like, say this person's like real closed off and real stoic, like maybe someone just passed and it made them very reclusive or very depressed or very introverted to the point that they can't even peep out. Like, that person needs a lot of high positive vibration in their immediate space, and they need a lot in the beginning because it has to break down their own stuff. You're literally talking about energy fields and, like, changing the air and the vibration.
How do you do that?
The person who is it, the person has to become it before you can do it. So you have to fill your own self up with the positive vibrations so that you can go on someone that's super depressed or super, you know, kind of closed and be able to crack through it. Because if you're a depressed person yourself, which is what that person's actually going to attract, all right, it's going to be impossible for you to pierce out of that. It's going to be impossible for you to jump up.
You know what came in my head? Everything we say in these episodes, this is what I feel. I truly believe it. This is gonna be my life quote. Like, self-awareness is the key to life. Legit. Because how do you get that? Self-awareness. Like, being self-aware with yourself and knowing what you need to go in with that positive intent and coming from that vibration stems from doing the internal work.
More than self-awareness is just awareness, period. Like,
yeah, but how does one
awareness is even better than self-awareness.
Some sort of work.
No, it's not. It's not really work.
It's not work, but like, people call it work. So that's not call it work.
People call it work because they like to make things look like they're hard and difficult when they're not, really. To, like, observe is... Oh, you're right. To observe is to just pay attention outside of yourself and, like, see others and have empathy and see what you lack in yourself through what others have. You know, you recognize in yourself what you have in others, and you also can see what you don't have in yourself through others. So it's the awareness as a whole. More than awareness of self, that means you're narrowed in on self, but I mean awareness of totality and paying attention to the universe as a much broader spectrum than just mainstream, like, human thinking that we've been conditioned to operate under, and that these patterns that have already existed that you jump on, like, that leave you to be numb. Okay, like, if you don't think in the regular ways, or you can at least have observation or awareness that there are ways and that you're just a part of it, you're like a hell of a lot forward. The next part is knowing I am a part of it and this is how I go, and like, oh, here's another one. Pay attention to what the other one looks like and try to jump on that other one and cut yours down or bring it into yours, start, and then jump on the other one. And it comes from every interaction you have with someone, and every interaction you have with yourself, and eating anything. It's how you do it.
Is there a way to practice that and show up better to other people?
Yeah, definitely. So I love how you do that, like, because you get me to cute it down. Like,
I just thought of it.
No, it's like there's a way to do it. So when you say you're going to meet someone, give me a scenario. I'm good when you give me, like, a particular scenario instead of making up scenarios.
I just say,
give me
like,
something that's relative that people would be, or you,
like,
something you would give it to me from you.
Like, every day I'm always around people and I meet people in coffee shops, and like, I'm in this flow of, like, on my phone. Like, I'm just in my work day, right? Like, I work from home, I'll work at coffee shops. So, like, say I'm, like, in transition, getting to a shop, and I see people, and I love to talk to people. So, like, say I just jump in a convo with, like, I'm looking at my phone and someone says something to me. So I'm just, like, taken out of this.
All the time, yeah.
And then I'm all of a sudden in a convo with someone next to me in a coffee shop line. How do I just all of a sudden become present?
So you have to make a decision if you want to have a conversation with them first. If you want to have a conversation,
I'm always curious. So I'm like, yeah, sure. Like,
yeah, but you have a conversation, but it doesn't do anything because it's not. There's no point. Like, you're looking for things that you need in it or from that conversation, and if they are not, you don't recognize those things within that conversation. You just sideswipe it.
Okay, right? Another one. You go home after a long day. You live with roommates.
No, but wait. Here's something important, because everybody does what you do. So within a conversation of meeting someone, you're not emotionally available because you're looking for how that either can make you feel. Like, if someone says something that makes you, like, they give you a compliment, you're like there, all right? You feel a bit. Or if they have something that's going to aid you or your agenda or whatever it is, you're there. They're the only two reasons. And so there could be a whole lot of other nutrients around it that you completely sideswipe because that's what you're focused on. That's unemotionally available.
What are the nutrients?
That is mentally available. The nutrients could be the empathy that you're going to gain from sitting in that person's personality. And that is going to enrich you and give you more things, so you might not even need the things that you're seeking. Which is whatever agenda that you have. So, like, let's say, so you're social whatever and you're looking for clients and you want to get whatever, you're having a conversation to see if that person has a business.
Yeah.
To see it, right? So that's your agenda. And if they don't, you're like, if they work and carry trash every morning and then whatever, and they're like, no, you're like, okay, cool, gotta go, boom. So you've just missed that the dude that carries trash every morning, right, or brings trash every morning, has the deepest, most beautiful heart of kindness, of absolute, that could absolutely, hanging out and spending time with him could shift your own perception of yourself and of the world to a whole nother level, that you then connect with something higher.
I have a story about this.
Connect with something higher, so that you're not just like acuted on these things, because it's very limited. You're limiting your joy. You're limiting your own self-growth, right? And you're also limiting your emotional availability. And if you're not living emotionally, you're not living in fun, because there's no celebration with if there's no emotion. So
this happened to me.
What?
The story we just said, not the same thing, but the same thing in a different context.
Yeah.
One of my like potential clients, we had like a consulting, like I'll do like a free, I was doing like free consulting, like just to like audit what they're doing and stuff like that. But we did it in person because I knew her from the gym. And then we met in person, and then we were just talking about her brand, her goals, everything. It went really well. Then I didn't hear from her, so I do like my thing, like follow up. I learned like I actually got to be on with follow ups. Then I saw her at the gym, and then she was like told me like what's going on, and I was like, wow. I just like was so, I had so much empathy for what she's going through, and I like when we stopped talking about like the business side of things, I felt something from her that I was like, okay, something's off. Like, she's not ready for what she said she was ready for. It's like, I'm just gonna like not even like continue to like follow up with her. Like, I did once, and then like when she said she had to go home, I was like, okay. And then when I met her, she told me what was going on, and I guess I could
So what
say
you can
it
gain
here.
from so basically what you can gain from empathy is substance.
Well, it shifted my whole day, freaking like my week. I was like, holy shit, my problems are not problems. Like, I am so grateful for everything. Like, I was like, people are dealing with that. If that happened, if I was dealing with that, I would be going through a depression. Like, I would try to like I would literally, my world would turn down.
Okay, so that's a common response, is to look at someone else's misfortune and find gratitude within your own. That's common. So what I'm talking about is building yourself with substance. And
like maybe like, what is the purpose of life? That's literally what it made me realize. Like, what is all this? What is like everything we do? It means.
Do you want the quick answer?
There's no quick answer.
No, like, I know, but there's no real purpose of life. Like, it's just the experience itself. Period. There's no, it isn't about your purpose to life. Like, it's about the experience you have.
But we're always seeking and chasing.
Because that's what society's created you to be.
Yeah, that's literally what
It's like, it's the mainstream way, and it's like so exhausting. It's not even like enriching or substanceful. You just go through life like robots, and then things, you can be sensitive and hurt you, and you get it completely out of whack, and they're not even on point. Like, there's so much, you know. It's like the purpose of life is literally the experience itself. Period. Like, there is no...
But if you don't have purpose, then is your experience shitty?
No.
Because you're not seeking any achievement.
Well, I think a different word than purpose. There's two different... You're talking about the purpose of life. Purpose of life is to grow, like and the subconscious purpose of life is to grow and evolve, right? And then like everything, that's not me saying that, that's, you can see that like if you look at a tree, if you look at, you know, anything in life that grows from beginning to end, that's the subconscious purpose of life. But I'm talking about the human purpose of life. It's about enriching yourself through the experiences that you have. Whatever I choose, I can choose to be a pro surfer. I can choose to be an engineer. I can choose to be a real estate investor. Whatever I'm choosing, my purpose isn't that. My purpose isn't to be a real estate investor. My purpose is to grow. One thing I might choose to do within my growth is be a real estate investor. Another one might be to be a professional surfer. And that's where people get so hung up. It's so focused. This is my purpose. And if it's wrong, it's chill out. Whatever. If you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. Whatever. You're going to grow no matter what. Just enjoy it. It's about how you show up to the experience.
Love it.
And how emotionally connected you are to the experience, and why that's important, because then you get to feel it with all your deepest, highest, positive vibrations. One, that's great for you, but second, it's great for all the people that don't get it like that, because you can then reach down and pull them up when they're in depression or dark times. You can pull the dark into the light. So what I'm talking is about how to be your light, how to be your lightest light, and what to think. It's about what to think, to create, and to see, and to be, and it's very, very simple, period.
Literally, everything Karen said is what Raw Truth is trying to teach.
Yeah.
And to summarize all this, literally I'm going to summarize it with saying, you guys need to keep listening to these episodes if you want to embody that and, like, be that. Because that is what we're all... Like, doesn't that sound beautiful? Like, don't you wish you could see life the way that...
Haven't you been growing like that, though?
Yeah, and it's been, like, a crazy experience, because I'm just, like...
Tell them what you said to me before.
Like, I'm just, like...
When Ayesha first showed up to LA, I'm going to tell them. When Ayesha first showed up to LA, she was very high-pitched, very, like, hi, da-da-da-da-da-da, like that, right? Now, all of a sudden, she's like, oh, yeah, here I am. And we have this one episode, the Really Raw, which was my favorite episode, where she was emotionally available, really emotional in the episode. Since then, she didn't want to air that episode. Since then, everything has shifted. So just how she's paid attention, how she lives, very little, because she's very strong, herself is very, very prevalent, but it's happened, and she gets more and more of it, and then it just becomes like a snowball, and it keeps growing.
Yeah, it feels really good. Like, I can't explain it, but I just, like, I show up better. And, like, I just speak my truth in different environments. I was just in the coffee shop with some guy, and he literally knows I'm all about branding and everything, and he shoots me some logos, and he kept doing it the whole time, though, because I was giving him
to stop.
Raw truth. I was literally like, no, I hate that. No, that's this. Like, right when it was coming out, and I was like, I hope you, and then when I left, I was like, I hope you didn't take those things. I shot down like 50 ideas, because he was just kept coming up with stuff, and I was like, no, I don't like it. And he was just like, no, he was like in awe, like he kept wanting to like message, like ask me more, and then he messaged me actually when I got here with more ideas, because I guess like people don't do that. People just don't like, well, people do, but like you would. If I shot you ideas, you'd be like, nah, but I didn't like sugarcoat anything, and like it's just from like showing up authentically. Like obviously I didn't say it in like a rude tone. Like I was just like, no, I don't really like that, like no. And like people appreciate that. Like radical honesty and transparency is so rare.
Radical honesty.
Yeah.
Womp.
Keep listening, keep growing with us.
Absolutely, we're all growing. It's a growth. Love and growth.
If you guys could please rate and review, let us know what you like, what we don't. We just want to serve and provide value, because we're all on this journey, like you just said.
Yeah, thanks guys.